Hello, my name is Helen and a very warm welcome to my channel. Rachel and Andrew have opened their garden as part of the National Garden Scheme Open Day. When they started gardening here in 2018, it had a structure, but nothing had been done to it for a very long time. Couch grass, bindweed and nettles were everywhere, and the soil was very poor. To get started, they worked tirelessly on each section, learnt how to prune fruit trees and dug in 8 tons of mulch. Rachel has very kindly agreed to show me her vegetable garden. We shall meet her later in the video. Let's visit Rachel and Andrew's garden. The garden has various areas and levels. Rachel has very kindly provided some before photographs showing the start of different projects. This staircase leads on to the next level. It is adorned by these apple trees trained over arches. The beautiful blossom frames the view with hopefully the promise of a good crop. Here is a photograph of the branches bearing fruit a few years ago. You can see how much the trees have grown since then. The orchard is mainly apple trees that bear a good deal of fruit. Rachel uses the apples in all sorts of different ways, including chutney. Opening a jar of homemade produce in the middle of winter can bring back such warming memories of the summer. At the end of the orchard there is a lovely pond that is home to frogs and newts. This happy accident of a wheelbarrow and watering cans tumbling down into the pond forms this unique water feature and has been exceptionally well executed. It certainly brings a smile. The fountain is formed from the spout of the watering can, cleverly powered by solar panels. Inspiration for the dead hedge came from forest rangers in the local woods. Primarily, the idea was to provide a wood pile for frogs and insects to hide in. The stakes come from a local nursery and the wood and willow cuttings come from a neighbour. Rachel is waiting for us in her vegetable garden, so let's go and find her. Rachel, thank you so much for opening up your garden for the NGS scheme, and I'm just looking at this magnificent vegetable plot that you've got here, so please can you take us through how it came about and how you've gone on with it and how productive is it going to be?
Of course. I mean, we came here 6 years ago and everything you see here was a thistle field 6 years ago. So you literally couldn't walk through without taking your ankles off.
Right.
And the farmer over the road, we didn't want to spray. And he said, just mow, Rachel, just mow. So we mowed and we mowed and we mowed and we mowed.
What was it, with the hand mower?
No, we had a sit-on then, actually.
Well, that made it slightly better.
And then my husband had this clever idea of kind of coming through the building into this and creating a vegetable area. Tons of wild rabbits up here though, so there was no point doing any of this unless we could put the rabbit-proof fencing in.
Yes.
So the first thing was just before lockdown, we put 40 metres of rabbit-proof fencing all the way round, and then planted the hedgerow. And then this was a lockdown project.
Wow, gosh, what a fantastic project.
And of course you couldn't get any wood at the time, so these were my husband's work benches, which he kindly took apart. And I wouldn't pay the money for topsoil, so we started making our own compost.
Yes, I see all your bins behind.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
it's quite production.
Amazing, isn't it? But what can you do without this? You can't garden at all. No, and to have this is amazing.
Yeah, it gets rid of the rubbish as well. That's half the battle.
And they go up this side of the garden as well.
Yeah, so this I've been using. I mean, it's not great, it's still twiggy, but it's virtually at usable level.
Yes, and you've managed to make that all yourself. That's a sort of fantastic achievement.
All these are all filled with all our own compost. We haven't bought any of that. So,
brilliant.
And then I guess it starts in February with seeds all over the bedroom windowsill, and then it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. And
I see you've got quite a few seeds in your greenhouse at the top, so they go from your bedroom to the greenhouse.
To the greenhouse,
yes.
And the two greenhouses are both working great. They're not fancy, they're engine houses, you know, they
That's
keep
what you want,
going. And we produce, I mean, too much, as most people do, particularly when the fruit's in full flow as well. And I give a lot away, and we eat a lot, and I make jam and chutneys, and we freeze it, and we, you know, all of that stuff.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, it works. It's a little microclimate in here, as you can see.
Yes, I know. It's quite warm today. We've had so much rain.
I know.
In England at the moment.
Well, look at the sweet peas.
I know. I think at this time of the year you don't normally see sweet peas that high. No. They're usually in somebody's greenhouse. Yes. They're quite small.
Yeah. So these were planted in October, but I put them out about 6 weeks ago. I thought, oh, I'll be brave.
Yes.
I can always cover them in bubble wrap if it's. But we've been very
you've done very well.
So, so there we go.
Brilliant. Well, can you take us through what you've got in the beds here, please?
Yeah. So it's a whole mixture up here of flowers and fruit and veg as well. So this is all dahlias, which
got one coming up there.
Yeah, this is a random peony. I can't even remember putting that in, but hey ho.
Free plant.
So
it's wonderful.
yeah, so these, you know, they're obviously this is all full of dahlias. Same here. I mean, this is obviously a grapevine, but these are straw flowers that I grow in front for drying.
Yes.
And sweet peas and runner beans. And then all the arches. I had real success last year with trombone squashes. You know those?
Wonderful, yes.
Oh my God, they were fantastic. They were probably 3 foot. I had them hanging from the top of the arches, and beans growing up the sides. And then the rest of the beds, really, it just changes around. So we've got chard and spinach and small veg at the moment, and the fruit cage, you've got raspberries and gooseberries and strawberries.
Yes. Wow.
And, broad beans at the back, and garlic and tomatoes and cucumbers.
Yeah, well, let's go up there and have a look.
Yeah.
Rachel, I've been looking at your broad beans and I don't see any black fly on here, and I'm just wondering, how do you manage to do that?
Sheer brilliant.
Oh, that's great.
No idea. Planted them, always plant them by Halloween, basically.
Okay,
so they're always in October, and I planted out quite early this year. Again, it's been really mild, hasn't it?
Yes.
And they're so, well, you can see they're so happy. They're thriving.
They are.
Garlic went in as well late last year.
Okay.
And then again, there's randomly flowers at the back here. So I did used to use this as a bit of a holding bed for perennials from the main garden, and now there's just, again, there's sweet williams and daisies and aquilegia and gladioli, lots for cutting.
Wonderful colour, aren't they, the aquilegia?
Yes,
absolutely beautiful. I've got one of those looking down its trumpet, and it looks wonderful.
Oh, yeah, not through design, just self-seeded. Nature does the best job, doesn't it?
It's amazing, yes.
And the comfrey, which you might have noticed all over the garden, I love it. The bees love it, and I use it for comfrey feed, so I make feed from it, which is great.
Yes.
So yeah, it's and then this is all tomatoes.
Yes, all these seeds here that you've got in the greenhouse.
So once this gets up and running, all the this really is just tomatoes, and I tend to do peppers and chilies in here, and then the other greenhouse goes over to cucumbers and tomatoes. So I keep two of each.
So Rachel, here's your greenhouse. It looks like you've got lots and lots of tomatoes in here, and you said you grow chili peppers.
Chilies and peppers, yes, in here. It gets really hot, this greenhouse, as you can feel. So I grow. I think we've got 10 varieties of tomatoes, and I basically pick the 2 strongest, and then I grow one in this greenhouse and one in the other one, because there is a difference slightly in the cropping.
Okay.
So then I just keep a constant supply of different tomatoes.
Yeah.
There's lots of old heritage ones, and it smells lovely.
Rachel, I see you've got these magnificent cages for your soft fruit here. What do we actually have inside?
We've got gooseberries, green and red, so they crop at different times.
Yes.
The strawberries was my husband's idea, and it's an absolute genius idea, because
No bending.
no bending. The fruit hangs down. It doesn't get slugs. It doesn't get rats. It doesn't get birds.
Wow.
You can pick it easily.
So, good tip for all the viewers here.
Brilliant. And then we've got raspberries. We've got summer fruit in autumn fruit in raspberries. And that's it really. So, but the squirrels have found their way in, and they stripped the cobnuts tree and ate the cobnuts in there. So that's it. So
Well, that's a magnificent garden, Rachel. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
To you and your husband for opening up.
Pleasure.
And we
Thank
wish
you.
you success with everything, which I think you have already. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel and Andrew, for sharing your incredible garden journey.